Tom Ford is. Tom Ford is the husband. Tom Ford. Mr. Ford. All right, so who's got one? Okay, Anaya.
Can we do a sketch of a square root problem? Or
a square root?
Yes.
Sure. So she wants to do a problem where we have to sketch something like the square root of x plus 3 minus 1. So what's the first thing to think about is, okay, what's the shape look like? So we should all know now that that's our shape. But this tells me what?
Left 3 down 1.
Left 3 down 1. Very good. So left 3 down 1, same shape, just situated in a different place. Oh, okay. When it's 2, go ahead and leave. All right. On this same thing here, I just remember, you know, in years past, one of these, if people miss any here, where they miss their points is on something like this. That's where we miss our points. So let's go ahead and practice that, and then I will take more suggestions from the crowd here. So I'm going to start by graphing my regular sign. Do you have to do it this way? No. It's got to have that picture. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and graph my regular sign, which looks like that. Goes up 1 and down 1. I need to label that so that I have my, my proportions correct. Now, what am I doing to this sign picture? Moving it down 1. So instead of this being the axis, this is going to be the axis now, right?
Right.
That's going to be the axis. So now, my thing is going to start here and go up and down 1. So the low point will now be at -2. And the high point will be at 0. So instead of going between -1 and 1, drop it down, it's going between -2 and 0.
And these happen for only sin and cosine ones.
What are you talking about?
Like, where you have to, like, put both of these only have
Oh, you don't have to put both of them. I do, because that helps me, but you don't have to.
So if I just do the sin and just put -1.
It's the sign.
Sign.
Yep. If you draw that picture, you're going to get it right. I don't care what else is with it or not with
I don't
it.
need the -2.
Yeah, you need to label your axes, sure. Okay. All right. All right, so who else has a kind of problem you want to look at? Something else that we need to practice because we're going to miss it, maybe. Well, I'll tell you some other things that I remember people missing. I remember this seems to be an issue sometimes for kids. No, let's not do that.
Can I like try to solve it and then?
So the issue here will be, we'll get the horizontal asymptote wrong. All right, does this have any holes? No. Everybody sees the vertical asymptote. The vertical asymptote will be at x equals 1. It's the horizontal one that people are going to miss. Everybody knows you have to build the box. Everybody knows you got to put an x squared in the bottom because you don't have one.
Right.
So you're going to build this box. Everybody's going to do that. You're going to get 1 over 0. And this is where you're going to miss it.
Undefined.
Yes, the horizontal asymptote would be 9 because you can't sit on the egg. 1 over 0 is not allowed. If it had been the other way around, and it had been 0 over 1, then the horizontal asymptote would be at y equals 0. So you gotta keep that straight in your mind. Another thing that we have trouble with sometimes is figuring out exactly where the hole is, if we have one. So let's say we've got this. Okay, this is our problem. And we're finding the holes, the vertical asymptotes and the horizontal asymptotes. What's the first thing we need to do? Factor. So how does the top factor? X plus 1, x minus 1. And how does the bottom factor? X minus 5, x plus 1. Right? So now everybody recognizes we're going to have a hole. And that hole's gonna happen where x equals what? Negative 1. Now, everybody always gets that right. Whatever cancels gives me the x coordinate. This is the part that for some reason we miss sometimes. How do we get that right there? We simply plug in negative 1, but where do we plug it in at? Right here, in the simplified reduced problem. So if you put in negative 1, and you won't have a calculator on this, so you're going to have to do that arithmetic without a calculator. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Negative 1 minus 5 is negative 6. And that reduces to 1/3. Alright, so let's fill in this part. The vertical asymptote would be at x equals 5.
Yes.
And the horizontal asymptote would be at y equals 1. Right?
Yes.
Okay. One more thing that is sometimes missed. If you have something you want to do, say it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rolling through what my memory tells me. We've got people miss this stuff. We've already talked about the order of operations, how you've got to do the order of operations correctly. But kids miss problems like find Q of P of X. Everybody knows something's got to plug into something, but you got to do it exactly the right order. So we start with our P, which is 2x squared plus 1, right? And that gets plugged into Q. And where does it go in Q? It goes in for X. So 3 times 2x squared plus 1 minus 2?
Yes.
6x squared plus 3 minus 2? 6x squared plus 1? And it doesn't matter what that looks like, you're done at this point. Don't try to set it equal to 0 and solve. Don't try to factor it. Just finish. Okay? What are the domain rules?
Square root, denominator.
Okay, so yes, if I see a square root or a denominator, it's a problem. But whatever is under the square root has to be greater than or equal to 0. Whatever is in the denominator cannot be 0. Right? Okay, anything else that you can think of that might be a stumbling block for you? Okay, all right, that's that. You can go. Next time I see you, we take a test.
Sure.